Before my accident, I was a self-employed builder. I ran my own company building, active person, and done a lot of sports, a lot of motocross. I'd go racing with my son pretty much every weekend. It was either racing at the local racetrack or we'd go on a lot of charity rides. Come September 2016, just an average day out at the beach having a ride with friends, and just went over the handlebars. I broke my C7 and broke from my T3 to T11. The main pinch on my spine is at T5, T6. The compression of everything came down onto T6 and blew out T6, and that's where the pinch is on the spinal cord. It was a big thing for me to get back riding, because coming from a motocross accident, a motorbike accident, it was a big mental challenge to get back onto a bike, let alone ride a bike again. I started looking into things besides the wheelchair rugby, archery, shooting. I tried all the shooting and everything. Bit of CrossFit, tried that and stuff like that. But the main thing I wanted to do was to try and find out if there's any kind of motorsport activities out there that spinal cord injury people can do, and there wasn't really much out there. So I bought a go-kart and then just made some kind of dodgy hand controls for it and stuff. Made a little handbrake and stuff like that, so I had brakes and stuff, and then kind of just had a rope going, like a push-pulley system on the accelerator, so I just kind of pulled on a bit of rope and that was the accelerator. So that was like, whoa, okay, sweet. That got me into like go-karting and stuff like that. I started on a 50cc little motorbike and just learned to use my core from that, and then just puddled around on that for a couple of weeks, and then kind of manned up and then stepped up onto my son's pit bike, which is a 125 bike with gears and everything, which worked out a lot easier. I found when I was on the 50cc, it's because it's called what's centrifugal driven, it's always in gear, so my mates kind of had to stand there and wait for me to ride into them and then catch me, and then that's how I stopped, and then I could kill the bike. With doing it on lane stunt bike, I can kind of put the clutch in and then just roll into them instead of full blast riding straight into them. My son Lane does stunt riding with a team called KW Stunts, and a couple of the guys that are in the team, they're engineers, and they put me on to West Engineers just out in Henderson, and I just pretty much went down there and said to them, look, hey, here's some drawings, do you reckon it's possible that we can do this? And they said, look, bring the bike down and we'll see what we can do. And it pretty much started from a simple frame, and then they attached the wheel to it, and so we're kind of like, woo, we're halfway there. And then it's like, well, how do we attach it to the bike now? So we looked up a bit of footage online and that, and about what other people had done. Being like a T3, I don't have much trunk control, so stability was a really big thing for me, and just in like a mental aspect of it. Obviously if I'm not stable, then I'd freak out a little bit, but the way that they've done and built my bike is just come out mint. I'm really happy with it. The only couple, there's a couple of things that still need to be done, but at the moment I can still get out every weekend and go riding with my mates and stuff like that. We'll modify a little bit more probably down the track, but at the moment I'm just happy that I can get out and ride. To be honest, it's it puts a smile on my face, and that's the main thing. I didn't want to go too big. Going back to riding after my injury, I didn't know like how my body was going to cope, how I was going to cope. So I kind of just started small. I do want to get a bigger bike, and like I was saying earlier, there's a lot more planning to what I want to do and what I want to achieve from the build that I've done. I want to do a bigger build where I can take it to charities and, you know, do a raffle or something like that, and take someone that's not as fortunate as myself, that has the, you know, the ability of arms or anything like that, like tetras or quads, that we can just load them up on the flat deck sidecar and then strap them down and take them for a ride, you know, get the wind in their face, and maybe, you know, hopefully put a smile on their face, and even give them a bit of motivation, and to show them that, you know, just because of gone through a traumatic situation, that it's not the end, you know, we can, you know, still achieve things, and you just got to put your mind to it.